away from them.
Read the Fatiha. Read the Fatiha.
No.
You know the Fatiha. No, خلاص عيب الشيخ.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن اهتدى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم إنا نسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا وشفاء من كل داء. أمسينا وأمسى الملك لله والحمد لله، لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. ربي أسألك خير ما في هذه الليلة وخير ما بعدها، وأعوذ بك من شر ما في هذه الليلة وشر ما بعدها. ربي أعوذ بك من الكسل وسوء الكبر. ربي أعوذ بك من عذاب في النار وعذاب في القبر. How's everybody doing today? Everybody's good, alhamdulillah, tonight? Don't freak out looking at the laptop now. I'm going like the next level or something like that. My eyesight is really bad, so my phone is, everything comes small. So I had to get my laptop. I think I'm getting old now, so make dua for me, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. So tonight, inshallah, my plan for every single one of you is, inshallah, this is a family-friendly topic, and for all ages. I want the shabab, the youth, to pay attention, the adults, parents to pay attention, everybody to pay attention. This is for everybody, and I feel like this is extremely important because of the time frame that we are in. We are now starting our summer vacation as teenagers, and the parents, they're already getting tired of just hearing the word summer break. I can imagine they're going to be dealing with the kids, and just imagine the kids being at home all day long. We're trying to find ways that we can give our kids away either to some programs or something like that, So the plan for tonight is, inshallah ta'ala, my goal is to mention 4 important areas that we all should focus during this summer vacation, or this, in summer in general. The parents being busy with the kids, teenagers, kids, everybody being at home. What we all should focus on 4 areas that will help us to succeed in summer. And more importantly, we don't want to throw our summer vacation away in the disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? We don't want to be so much into having fun, neither so much into worship. Like, I'm not talking about constantly 24/7, mashallah, worshiping Allah. Nobody can do that. We need balance. Ummatan wasata. The ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is in the middle. We need that fine balance where we are worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, connected to Allah, and at the same time we are having fun. So inshallah ta'ala, the plan with the little time that I have, I usually go over time, so I need to watch my time strictly today. With the little time that I have, we will go over 4 most important things that we all can benefit and learn and focus on in the summer break, or in the summer in general that we have. My dear brothers and sisters, the first thing that I want to talk about, the first area to focus on, is the importance of time. Time is extremely important. We need to be extremely vigilant of our time. And relative kind of to the khutbah that I gave today, right? Just imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asking us in the Quran, هَلْ أَتَى عَلَى الْإِنسَانِ حِينٌ مِّنَ الدَّهْرِ لَمْ يَكُنْ شَيْئًا مَذْكُورًا. That was there a time out of all the ocean amount of time, the long period of time ever since humanity till now, was there a time in between where you and I weren't worthy of mentioning or worthy of being remembered? Once upon a time, we weren't nobody. If you go in the past, just imagine if you asked every single of those people in the past if they knew us, everybody would say, no, we don't know who you are. We didn't exist at those times. We were irrelevant. But the most important thing over here is that ad-dahr, the long amount of time that has been passed. Just imagine. And compared to that, our life is extremely small. Extremely, minute, minuscule amount of time that you and I have in this world compared to the amount of time that has passed. So time is extremely important. We need to focus. Every little time that we have, we need to make sure that where it's going. We are not like the previous the previous nations, where they had a long life, way longer life than we did. 900 years, 950 years. You remember Nuh alayhi salam doing da'wah for more than 950 years. Long time, just imagine. But compared to that, we are just living in this world average 65, 70 years. So we need to be extremely vigilant and watchful of our time. And the first reminder that I want to give in this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swears by the time. وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Human being, Allah ta'ala is saying that the insan, human being, is in a constant loss. Khasara. In a constant loss. And he's sore by time. Because why? Because majority of people, they waste their time away. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sore by time. Because just imagine we spending our life away in things which are not important, and all of a sudden we see the time and we see how many years have passed. You can ask your parents, you can ask your uncles, grandparents, and they will tell you themselves that it just feels like yesterday you were small. It just feels like yesterday I was back home doing this and that. They will tell you how fast time flew by for them. And that is the reason why Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says in a hadith, نِعْمَتَانْ مَغْبُونٌ فِيهِمَا كَثِيرٌ مِنَ النَّاسِ الصِّحَّةُ وَالْفَرَاغُ. There are two blessings that in which many people incur loss in. They don't take seriously. And it is their health and free time. Time is extremely important that we need to be watchful. People waste time every single day. And that is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, one of the 5 traits of a true believer that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, there are 5. How many? 5 true, if you want to be amongst the true believers, al-mu'minun, there are 5 traits, sifat, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about in the Quran. قد أفلح المؤمنون الذين هم في صلاتهم خاشعون والذين هم عن اللغو معرضون. If you want to be from a true believer, a mu'min, one of their traits is that they don't waste time. Al-laghu is something that doesn't benefit you in this life or the next. That doesn't benefit you in this time or the next. So we need to be extremely vigilant and watchful. If you're wasting our time away, now we are not amongst the true believers. We're just, we are being opposite of a true believer. And we will be in a constant loss, in a khasara. So how is this relative to us now, since we are in summer? Because just imagine now the kids are at home. They'll be constantly playing video games, or you being a parent, not making a good example for your kids, being on social media, watching movies after movies. And just imagine, and this is a simple math that I've done, and it can be actually, this can be way more. There's a study that average human being in this country, they waste time in, social media, video games and everything, 4 hours a day. And I can guarantee you, take your phone out. If you have an iPhone, I don't know how Android work. I'm all Apple. You can see I have MacBook, I have iPhone and all that. And there is a place in the settings called screen time. And go in the screen time and see how much time you have wasted. And it will tell you. It will expose you. I don't want to expose you today, but you can do it at your own time. On average, Americans, they waste time 4 hours a day in the week. A day in the week, yeah. And now let's do the math. That is 28 hours totally in the week. 4 hours a day, 28 hours in the week. And if you are counting summer vacation or summer break as 10 weeks, then that's 280 hours in 10-week span. And in the whole summer, you've wasted 11 and a half days. And I can guarantee you it's way more for the youth. For the youth, it's way more. Probably 15 days or something like that if you count it all together. 11 days continuously being wasted. Just imagine. We need to be extremely watchful of this, brothers and sisters. And it is breaking families. It is breaking, bond between us and our kids. We need to be extremely watchful of this. Our kids being shoved in the room by themselves with this dangerous access to the internet. We don't know what they're doing. And just imagine wasting hours and hours away. Which leads to my next point, second area that we should focus on in the summer that we have, with the summer break that we have with our kids. Being productive. We need to really make sure that we make not only our kids, but us ourselves, we are productive. Our kids look at us. If you tell your kids, go do something beneficial, go do this and that, go pray, they will take you as an example. You're sitting on the couch after work or something like that, wasting your time away, scrolling through your phone or scrolling through pressing the remote and scrolling through the TV. They will take you as an example. They will take it from one ear and throw it out the other. So we need to be extremely watchful of this, my brothers and sisters, that we are applying whatever we are preaching to our kids. And on the topic of now, the second area we should focus on being productive, let's go back and look in the life of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was said about the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there were people, just imagine Sahaba, the wives of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They were seeing every action of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and not 1 second went by in the life of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam where he wasn't productive. He was sitting idle and doing nothing. Can you imagine that? Every single second in the life of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was busy with something productive. Either of the affairs of his kids, of his family, of the community, on helping others. And that is what we should take example from. And my advice would be, and this is from the Salaf as well, when we see the Salaf al-Salihun, this is what they did. And we should apply that in our lives and make a habit within our kids. That in the break that we have with our kids, let's create a schedule for yourself and your kids. When you have something to take accountability of, when you take accountability of yourself, and that starts off with a schedule, then it will be easier of you being productive. If you don't have a schedule, if you don't have anything, you're just going day by day, hour by hour, and wasting time away, then you will never be productive. So, if you want to be productive, the first step to take is that you and your kids make a schedule, a daily schedule, and follow that schedule. Example can be waking up in the morning and praying salah together as a jama'ah. Praying salah together as a jama'ah. And then making sure that you are teaching your kids to be clean. At-tahuru shatrul iman. Cleanliness is half of faith. Don't go in your kids' room and you are cleaning for them, and they're just sitting idle on the couch or on their bed playing video games and all that. No, you teach them this. This is the time that you teach them akhlaq and adab. If you don't teach them that, then nobody will. You cannot depend on the imam. You cannot depend on the masjid. You cannot depend, obviously, in your school that you send your kids to. This is your role as a parent. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will question you. So this is the time, and this is the perfect moment that you have to teach your kids adab, akhlaq and adab. And that starts with yourself first, and you doing it with them. Praying salah together, teaching them good habits, building good habits. Make sure that they busy themselves with good things. If they don't have anything to do at home, make them volunteer outside in the masjid. In the masjid, we have a lot of important things going on, and we need help. And the perfect people to help would be the kids. They can build good habits. They can learn good traits and apply them in their life. They can pick up a good habit, for example, learning the life of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A good hobby that they can, that you can teach them. And this is the perfect time, because if they are not productive, guess what? This is where shaitan will come in. And wallahi, I'm telling you, you will see that yourself, if not now, later. And I see this constantly. When free time comes, and when a person is sitting idle, the first one to come and take advantage of that idleness is shaitan. Shaitan will tell your kids, look, you have internet next to you, and you have access to everything, all the fawahish, all those dirt and filth out there. And I don't want to get into the numbers of how much filth is out there and all that. That's for another day. But I'm talking about that effect those filth puts on your kid's brain. It's big, it's a lot. It ruins them from the bottom. So much so that when they get married, it ruins them as well. So you need to make sure that those free time that they have and they're not being productive, it's not, if it's not being put to good use, then it's going to be taken advantage by shaitan. And shaitan is waiting for that moment, brothers and sisters. And that goes not only for your kids, for yourself as well. Sometimes, we are at work, and we see, and this happens all the time. I see this all the time. Your wife, for example, working hard with the kids daily, and you come home and not give time to your kids, and your kids notice that, your wife notices that. But now when you're at work, mashallah, you are buddy-buddy with your co-workers, the opposite gender, being, lovey-dovey with them and all that. Then when you come home, you're complete opposite with your wife. And now what happens? It's breaking the family. And I see this all the time as an imam. So you need to make sure that not only you're productive with your kids, but you yourself, you carry that. You do everything as a family. And the best thing to do of being productive is sitting together, eating together, right? And learning the life of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam together. Have a schedule where in the evening you will sit with your kids and you will talk about different sahaba, different companions, the life of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Something good. Can be one hadith you read together, 5 minutes. And that itself will leave a big impact on the life of your kids. Even yourself. You'll be shocked that you yourself, you don't know a lot of things. And just sitting with your kids, learning, reading one hadith will impact not only your life, but your kids as well. And that will be on your record in the hereafter. And it leads to my third point. The third area that we should focus on is family bonding. And this is extremely important. This, I would say, is one of the most important areas that we should focus on. This is generally throughout our life, but especially in summer. When the kids are at home, they are sitting idle, they have nothing to do. You build the connection with them. They will befriend you. If you don't befriend them, then they will befriend somebody else. And somebody else will lead them astray. And the perfect example to take and to see is the bonding of Luqman alayhi salam and his son. I have a whole lecture on that, and I don't want to go back and talk about that again. You see the strong bonding that Luqman alayhi salam has with his son. He's not constantly yelling at his son, at his daughter. You don't do this, you don't do that, you have no goodness in you. Using bad words with them, yelling at them. He's like, Ya bunay, oh my beloved son. He didn't say, oh son, hey listen, oh my beloved son. The beautiful, calm voice, words that he's using with his son. And giving him strong advice. Ask yourself, when was the last time you had a conversation, a strong, mature conversation with your son? And not constantly putting him down and treating him, that he has no use, no goodness in him. When was the last time you sat with him and talked about, different matters and teach him something? Leave him with one advice and actually ask him, is there something that is taking over your head? How was your school? How was your life? What do you want in your life? Where do you see yourself from 5 years or 10 years from now? So we don't see that happening. So this is the perfect time where you can bond with your kids, with your wife, with your family in general. And what a better way can there be for you to bond with your family than, as I mentioned, the example of doing ibadat together, praying together, eating together. And especially eating, this is extremely important. When we eat together, it creates mahabba, it creates unity. So that is the reason why, all the time you see, wherever there is goodness, ibadah, food is always added with it. It's not that we are hungry or something like that, no. Food brings mahabba, right? Just right now, after our talk, we will have dinner. In Ramadan, we fast together, we pray together, and what do? We eat together, right? It's not that we are just a bunch of hungry people, no. Food brings khayr and mahabba. Not each person eating separately, one person eats, throw the dishes in the counter or in the sink and then goes upstairs and another one comes. No, eat together, talk together, bond together. And this itself will create the mahabba. Because, trust me, in the future, you yourself will regret it. You yourself will regret it. And the kids, make sure that you have patience with your parents as well. Sometimes, that's how it is. I always give the example. Parents, sometimes, they want the good for, good for you. Obviously, no parents are out there that wants the worst for their kids. If you're telling me that, then, then you must be on crack or something. You will never ever find a parent, a mom, or a dad who wants bad for their kid. Every single parent wants good for their child. But it doesn't mean, because now since you're a teenager, you might think that, oh, I know better than my parents. They're living in the old, they're from the old generation. They don't know how this works, that works. I'm smarter than them. Getting in a constant argument with them. You have to watch your tongue. You have to watch yourself. You have to watch yourself. And if you are good to them, if you show them kindness, then you will have their dua. And if you don't show them kindness, then you'll be the one suffering in this world and the next. And that's how it is. I always give people example of, of my example as well. I wouldn't be where I am because of my mom. She's the one who pushed me. How did she push me? She would always compare, which is not good, but it's okay. I mean, that's how I got pushed. She'd be like, oh, I became hafiz. Oh, look at this person. He has ijazah. What are you doing? You just become hafiz and that's sitting idle? Then I got ijazah. So, oh, look at this so-and-so. He's in Medina studying. What are you doing? He's studying ilm, studying this. You're not doing anything. Then I did that. I studied ilm and I got ijazah and all that. So that's it. Look, so-and-so is running a Quran academy and this and that. What are you doing? I became the principal. So-and-so became the imam and this and that. And now I became that. And even now, my mom's like, oh, look at this, so-and-so doing fatwas, answering fatwa. What about you? Now I guess I have to become a mufti next. And I don't know what's going to be next. I think the next thing I have to be a khalifa, I don't know. But that's how parents are. And you just smile and tell them, make dua for me. And when you tell them that, they actually make dua for you. And you become the best. And this is how it is. Or I could have been like, what do you understand? In your, when you were my age, you were doing completely something else. And, I can take it to a whole next level. Like kids do nowadays. But when you understand that your parents want the best for you, and you use this as a motivation to better yourself, then you will look at the good outcome of this. And with this, inshallah, I will end. The fourth most important thing. These last 2 points are extremely important. This last one is make sure that your kids have good company. Good company is extremely important. Because let's say your kids are bored at home and they were like, oh, there's nothing at home. Oh, my friend so-and-so has this at home, which we are not, which we don't have. So I will go to my friend's house. I will befriend this person. And you don't know what's happening. And your child now is being dragged to haram or something that displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and will ruin his life. And we will be the one regretting. So we need to make sure that the friends that our kids have are good. If they are in a bad company, wallahi, we'll be the one regretting. And there are so many ahadith over and over again. I can mention a lot of ahadith. The famous hadith that we know, where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, الرجل على دين خليله فلينظر أحدكم من يخالل. That the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, a man follows the religion of his friend. So each one should consider whom he makes his friends with. So if your friends are bad, then obviously you're going to be bad, right? If I want to know how you are as a person, anybody, I don't have to ask yourself, I don't have to live with you. All I have to do is just see who you hang around with. If you're hanging around with people who are smoking all day long, they are doing drugs all day long, they're playing video games all day long, and if you can cry all you want, rolling on the floor that, oh, don't worry, I am Imam Abu Hanifa, I am this, don't worry about my friends. Nobody will believe you. They'll be looking at your friends. You cannot be Imam Abu Hanifa, the biggest scholar, but your friends are a bunch of crack addicts, obviously, right? And vice versa. So you need to make sure that the friends that your kids, even yourself, you are hanging around with, your kids are hanging around with, are good. There is a saying of Sheikh Abu al-Fayl ibn Ibrahim al-Misri, Imam Abu al-Fayl ibn Ibrahim al-Misri, one of the old Salaf. He mentions in his book, Min Adab al-Ashara, that you should keep company with one from whose harm you are safe. So if true friend, shouldn't harm you, you feel safe from him. You feel safe with him. Seeing him encourages you to do good, and he reminds you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So ask yourself, the friends that I hang around with, do they encourage me to do good? Do they push me towards goodness? Do they push me towards khair? Am I changing my life daily, hanging around with them? Or am I going the other way? Am I praying my salahs on time? Or is it that I'm hanging around with my friends and then the whole nightfall goes by and then we wake up and we miss Fajr? And this is what's going to happen in summer, unfortunately. You hang around with your friends, you hang around with your buddies, and then you hang around, talk, chit-chat the whole night long, backbiting people, doing so many haram things. Then the morning goes by, Fajr goes by, you wake up in the midday. This is what happens. So you need to make sure that not only your kids, but you yourself are hanging around with good company. And if you are involving yourself, engaging yourself with good company, then you shouldn't worry about your kids. But you are constantly complaining, oh, what's going to happen to my kids? What's going to happen to them? The summer is going to be a nightmare. But if this part, if you have it sorted out, you shouldn't worry. If your kids, they're pushing you to go to the masjid. They want to go to the masjid. They have friends over here. They're praying jama'ah together. Then that should make you happy, extremely happy. Not like, oh, leave me alone. Now I just want to sit at home. Go to the masjid, then you are just shutting that door. And I see that a lot as well. The kids want to come to the masjid. They want to hang out here. What's the problem? What a better place to hang out than the masjid. And we have a lot of programs for the youth as well in summer. So the best place to hang out and learn is the masjid. And the best company to have are the company of the people of masjid. So inshallah, with this 4 short points and reminders where I wanted to share with you all, so that we all can apply them in our life, inshallah. And this we can apply it all the time, but especially summer, it will be extremely relevant to us, and it's something that we can apply and start from today. and make sure that we are vigilant of these so that we can change not only our kids' life but ours as well. And remember, by the end of summer, if there isn't something that you improve, you created a good habit, or you improved yourself and the life, the character of your kids, if they were in the beginning of the summer the same as at the end, even worse, wasting the time away, you have to really question yourself. So it's not too late. Start from today, and inshallah we all can improve together, inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum. We have a couple of minutes. Any questions relating to this? Or we can go for dinner. Good, mashallah? Should I ask some questions? Let me see. Because it must be that everybody understood my conversation, my lecture. Let me start with the sisters because I see them talking in the back. Can you remind me, the sisters sitting next to the wall, what is the first point that I mentioned that we should focus on this summer? Huh? MashaAllah. Good, they passed. So they're just probably chilling. Sorry, I misjudged you. So spending your time wisely. Time is extremely important. The second point, can anybody tell me? Anybody, huh? Have a schedule. Being productive. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. The sisters on fire. The brothers. Third important things to focus on. Huh? Anybody? Family bonding, mashallah. Making sure that you are with your family, you are doing everything as a jama'ah, you're connecting with them, praying together, eating together. It will build muhabba, inshallah. And the last, final, which is extremely important, good company, mashallah, mashallah. So good, you guys paid attention. So my talk didn't go to waste, inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum. Just one question? Yes. So let me answer the question. Like, the person is good, but he has one or two bad habits, and where you find the balance. I mean, if there is another saying of some scholars. You take good from a person and leave the bad, right? You take good from a person and leave the bad. But you have to ask yourself, the bad that you see in this person, is it overpowering you? Are you going to catch this bad than the goodness that he has in him? So as you're claiming this person, you see good traits in him, but he has one or two bad habits. Are those two bad habits so strong that you think that over time it will seep in you? So you know yourself better than anybody. You ask yourself this question, right? Sometimes, unfortunately, the bad habits are way more overpowering than the good habits that they have, right? The good that you can take from them. Or sometimes it can be the opposite as well, right? So you have to ask yourself and judge based on that. As long as a person, as I mentioned, of Sheikh Abu al-Fadl ibn Ibrahim al-Misri, as he mentioned in his book, that as long as at the end you see that over time you are gaining closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? The whole purpose is for us to go to Jannah, right? Anything that leads us to Jannah is good, right? So at the end, you see that you're praying salah on time. That person is leading you towards goodness, improving your life, improving your character, right? If that's not being achieved, then you have to really question that friendship. Understand? And that doesn't need to be that, mashallah, you have to hang around with mashayikh now, and that's the only way that, no. You both can push each other. They're friends where I know, I see, and I wish, subhanAllah, I saw many of this. And when I was growing up, I had this. I see friends sometimes where they call each other, waking up each other for fajr. Can you imagine? They pushing each other for goodness, right? We all, we are constantly improving in our life. We are pushing ourselves to do good. So it doesn't mean that we are perfect. None of us are perfect. None of us are angels. But as long as you have friends who are pushing each other towards goodness, that's the way to go. Inshallah ta'ala. Barakallahu feekum. Inshallah, with this we end. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على Muhammad وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
بيدي ده مقطع من واحد زوج أنا جيت رفقت ها وسكنوا كل شيء على ما يرام بقرن واحد وآخر المطاف كيف كان؟ جاء ها قد معه كرسي من هذاك اديله كرسي الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 157 158
الله أكبر الله أكبر، أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله، أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله، حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح، قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة، الله أكبر الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
استووا. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، الرحمن الرحيم، مالك يوم الدين، إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين، اهدنا الصراط المستقيم، صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبح لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لم تقولون ما لا تفعلون؟ كبر مقتا عند الله أن تقولوا ما لا تفعلون. إن الله يحب الذين يقاتلون في سبيله صفا كأنهم بنيان مرصوص. وإذ قال موسى لقومه يا قوم لم تؤذونني وقد تعلمون أني رسول الله إليكم فلما زاغوا أزاغ الله قلوبهم والله لا يهدي القوم الفاسقين. وإذ قال عيسى ابن مريم يا بني إسرائيل إني رسول الله إليكم مصدقا لما بين يدي من التوراة ومبشرا برسول يأتي من بعد اسمه أحمد. فلما جاءهم بالبينات قالوا هذا سحر مبين. ومن أظلم ممن افترى على الله الكذب وهو يدعى إلى الإسلام والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. يريدون ليطفئوا نور الله بأفواههم والله متم نوره ولو كره الكافرون. هو الذي أرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، الرحمن الرحيم، مالك يوم الدين، إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين، اهدنا الصراط المستقيم، صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون بأموالكم وأنفسكم في سبيل الله ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون يغفر لكم ذنوبكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ومساكن طيبة في جنات عدن ذلك الفوز العظيم وأخرى تحبونها نصر من الله وفتح قريب وبشر المؤمنين يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا أنصار الله كما قال عيسى بن مريم للحواريين من أنصاري إلى الله قال الحواريون نحن أنصار الله فآمنت طائفة من بني إسرائيل وكفرت طائفة فأيدنا الذين آمنوا على عدوهم فأصبحوا ظاهرين الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
استغفر الله.
Hello? Do it. Hello?
How do you turn it off?
That's good, go. That's like this, like this. It's not good, it's not good. What do you want? This is not good. Halal, it's haram, haram.